Hey, the restaurant pros, it's Dave Scott Peters, and welcome to the Restaurant Prosperity Formula podcast. For over 2 decades, I've been guiding restaurant owners to success with the proven principles of something I call the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. I originally created the formula based on the daily practices of the most successful restaurateurs I coached, and it's now the foundation of what I teach restaurant owners like you so you can achieve success. What do I mean by success? Success is a restaurant owner who dictates the terms of their life and their bank account instead of their restaurants dictating those things for them. Success is a restaurant owner who has freedom from the restaurant and the financial freedom they never thought possible. How you define success is up to you, but I do know the way to achieving it is using the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. This season, I'm diving even deeper into the core elements of the formula: leadership, systems, training, accountability, and taking action. Along with my insights, you'll hear from special guests, industry experts, and inspiring success stories from fellow restaurant owners who've turned their businesses around and found their definition of success. In this episode, number 148, we're tackling what it really means to be a restaurant pro, and I mean truly a professional. Stay with me because I think this will be transformational. Let's get started, but first, a word from our sponsor. Boost your restaurant's performance with the Service with Style's secret shopping program. Get comprehensive reports with photos, customized visit templates, a vast network of experienced shoppers, and a fantastic scoring system so you know exactly what your guests are experiencing. You control the frequency and rotation. No minimums, no contracts, no cancellation charges, and no hidden fees. Enjoy industry-leading reporting and scoring software, plus a 10% discount off the price, and your first shop is free. Set up a quick call today at www.servicewithstyle.com/DSP. Last week, I did 4 presentations in 3 days. 2 4-hour workshops, 1 3-hour masterclass, and 1 90-minute session. Then I got in my car and I drove to San Diego and raced 2,000 meters for the first time in almost 40 years, all while dealing with what I was pretty sure was food poisoning. Now, I'm not telling you that to impress you. I'm telling you because that week exposed something most restaurant pros get completely wrong about success. It's not about the week. It's not about all the things that I went through, positive or negative, when it comes to, food poisoning. It's about you. It's about making sure you understand what matters to you when it comes to you becoming a restaurant pro. You hear me use that term all the time. What do I mean by restaurant pro? Restaurant professional. What does it mean to be a restaurant pro? And I'm going to tell you, this is something most restaurant owners misunderstand, managers misunderstand, and I don't take it lightly. So let's dive in. Let me set the scene. I'm in Las Vegas at Pizza Expo and Bar and Restaurant Expo, and I'm doing what I love, teaching from stage with rooms filled with people, talking about how to grow sales without bringing in more customers. I talked about how to fix your profit leaks. Oh, I even gave a general manager masterclass and teaching how to get your general manager to stop doing everything and actually leading, and more. And something interesting happened. People weren't just listening, they were reacting. I had restaurant pros pulling their GMs into my session. I had GMs texting their owners saying, "Get in here right now," pulling them from other seminars. I had people coming up to me afterwards saying, "This is exactly what I needed." Now, I can tell you, it was fantastic for my ego because I love what I do. But this is really when you know you're not just talking, you're connecting. Now, I'm going to tell you, why do I connect with my audiences? I'm not much different than what if you're watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, whether you've seen me speak on stage, whether you've watched my YouTube videos, we've gotten on a call and talked in person, or we've met in person. I'm pretty much the same guy. But I can tell you that the energy I bring to presentations blows the doors off most anyone else. I can tell you when I give a presentation, it's real talk. There's no fluff. There's no BS. I go right for your jugular. And I want to get you to do something. See, I can tell you I'm also not the smartest guy in the world. If you've met me one-on-one, I'm not. I'm kind of a doof. But the reality is, my special talent in life is I present the most boring information, more real world, more exciting than anybody else. I will get you excited about counting shit, right? I'm an arithmetic, a math teacher. I'm getting you to take inventories and do recipe cards and calculating your labor costs and controlling it. The reality is, I get you excited about that because running your restaurant's like a word problem. The equations, the math behind it, the arithmetic, that's easy. Understanding where all the numbers come from and how they fit together in those simple equations, that can be the hard part. But when you finally understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how they fit, it's magic. And that is what I believe is one of my talents. And that's why restaurant pros respond to me. That's why, well, I can tell you there is a difference between information and transformation, right? Think about that for a second. There's a difference between information, which I present from stage, but what I'm hoping for is transformation. Because information is everywhere. But transformation, that comes from how you deliver it. It's the energy. It's the conviction. It's making something that should be boring feel real. And I was in it. I was on. I was in my groove. There is nothing more in life that I truly get energized is having a room full of people who are glued on every word. It was thrilling. It's what I love to do. But then came Tuesday night. Tuesday night kind of happened. And I mean, it happened. I had finished all my presentations. I had gone to a social. I had spent a few hours out with some members and had a great time. I didn't overdo it, but I can tell you, I got back to my room. I went to sleep. And a couple hours later, boom, I wake up in some serious pain. I'm talking enough pain that I literally had cold sweats. Sitting there, I'm not feeling very good. There's literally sweat pouring down my forehead. I find my way to the restroom. I am telling you, it's not, I don't feel great kind of pain. I'm talking something is seriously wrong with me. My stomach was wrecked. I got no sleep. I was bent over and crippled, just feeling pain in my gut. You know what I'm talking about if you've been through it before. Now let me ask you a question. What would a normal person do? Right? You have literally woken up in a cold sweat. You have found yourself into the restroom. You are literally buckled over. There are things happening that I don't want to get into. But let's just say enough of it that the symptoms said, hey, there is something seriously wrong with you. What would somebody do? What would a normal person do? They'd cancel the trip. They'd go to urgent care. They'd tap out. I would think it'd be reasonable. And that would make sense. But that was never an option for me. See, did quitting cross my mind? No, it did not. Now, maybe briefly for a second thinking, oh, can I continue? Could I make my way to San Diego? Could I go and race? And then this little line in my brain popped up and it says, I'm going no matter what. See, that's who I am. When I make a commitment to other people, when I make a commitment to a team, when I say I'm going to do something, that's what I'm going to do, especially when somebody's depending on me. Because the next morning, I had to get in my car, drive from Las Vegas to San Diego, set of oars running down the middle of my car that I needed to get repaired. I was going to compete. I needed to be in San Diego. Now, here's where it gets real. This wasn't just another race for me. This was my first 2,000 meter race since college. I'm talking the last time I did a sprint race in crew, I'm a rower, was 1988. It had been decades since I had raced that. See, I'm a master's racer. That just means I'm past my college age, but I'm literally 59 years old. I'm 60 in rowing years, and I'll be 60 this calendar year. So it's no small feat that I'm out there doing what I'm doing. But for masters racing, the sprint season, the races are 1,000 meters. Anywhere from 6 to 8 boats across, sprint down the course, 1,000 meters. That's a completely different animal than a 2,000 meter piece. Because a 2,000 meter piece was what I rode in college. You had a first 500 meters that was up, you had a settle, and then we had the third 500 meters, which is what we referred to as the wall. This is when you're questioning your life decisions. Why am I a rower? Because within that 500 meters or at the end of that, you are going to bring the rate up and you're going to sprint. And it's anaerobic threshold, meaning your legs are burning, your lungs are screaming. You are literally feeling heavy and you are muscling the boat through, all at a higher rate, pushing your body to something you hopefully have never done before. Again, pushing your limits. So a 1,000-meter race is a very different animal compared to a 2,000-meter race. And I'm sitting there thinking, am I ready for this? Can my body handle it? Now, in normal circumstances, I'd be worried about, can my body handle it? Did I prep? Did I train properly? Am I capable of rowing this 2,000-meter piece and giving it my all to not let my teammates down? I'm also adding to that, can my stomach handle this? Because I'm telling you, each morning I'd find myself buckled over on the couch, coming out of bed and on a couch because getting kind of into a fetal position was the only thing that stopped the pain. Could I handle it? I'm going to tell you right now, take the food poisoning out of it. My nerves were already up. I didn't want to let other rowers down. I had not tested myself at the 2,000-meter race since 1988. So I had little flutters of doubt in my head, and I had certainly excitement about having the opportunity to prove myself again. Because I got news for you. I'm not 20 years old anymore. Again, I'm 60 in rowing years and very close to being actually 60 years old. Plus, I was sick. But here's the bigger thing. This rowing is a team sport. It is the ultimate team sport, especially in an 8-person shell. You've got a coxswain who steers and coaches, and you've got 8 rowers that have to row in unison. And that's every little thing. These are called racing canoes. They are thin. They are awfully tippy, and there is a lot to the sport, but it's a sport I loved. And I can tell you, if I don't show up for that 8, the mixed 8, the men's 8, we're going to talk about in a second, I've got 8 other people who don't race. They lose their shot. They lose their time. They lose their money. People had to invest. As adults, we flew ourselves out to San Diego or drove out. We got our own Airbnbs or hotels. Some of the rowers on my boat came from Canada. So it's a big deal when you make a commitment to race an 8. So guess what? You show up. Doesn't matter that I'm sick. Doesn't matter I feel like hell. I show up. That's my job. Now, Friday, our first race was a heat. And I'm going to tell you, the conditions are brutal. In San Diego, it is afternoon rows. There are damn near white caps. There's a crosswind. These are the less than ideal conditions. It makes it a very tough race. So I'm telling you, they were brutal. And we fought for it, and we qualified. See, only the top 2 boats in our heat were in. We wanted to make it to the A final. There were 3 heats, top 2 only made it to the A final. Saturday, the next day, were our finals. We ended up taking 4th. 4th out of 18 boats overall. Pretty good. Now, I'm going to tell you that's not luck, that's preparation. Now, I can tell you this. I didn't feel like it physically. I didn't feel like I truly wanted to do this physically because I was sick. I literally didn't tell anyone but some of the rowers that I was staying with. They're the only ones who knew that I was literally in it. But I made a commitment. I made a commitment to race, and I can tell you mid-race, I had to push through the pain. I had to make sure that I was not only mentally tough, physically ready, but that I can push through not only physical pain as far as pushing my body to its max, but getting through what is really pain in my gut that had nothing to do with muscle work, with energy, with oxygen, or any training. I was sick. And this is where I'm going to tell you, there's something about you can have pain, but pain versus commitment, you can get through anything. When you have people counting on you, when you say you're going to do something, when you show up, pain isn't going to stop you because you've made a commitment. And I can tell you, at this point in time, I'm in the race. I'm still in pain, still dealing with it, still pushing. And I tell you, after I finished the race, that mixed 8, what did I do? I jumped into another boat and went directly from 1-8 to a men's 8 for a practice because we have a race the next morning. That men's 8, that next morning, early, crack of dawn, literally we were delayed a little bit because there was so much fog. We're on the water. I'm in a different team with a new group of guys. I knew one rower in there and they were stacked, strong athletes. And I'm thinking to myself, don't screw this up. Not only am I the weak link, some of these guys are national team and rode in Cambridge and in England and just pedigree. And I'm this D1 rower who really didn't accomplish much. But as a master's athlete, getting back into it's only like my 5th year, I didn't want to screw it up. So we race, 4th again. Then that same day, I had another race, a 500-meter sprint with 3 of the guys I rode with in my mixed 8 and who are also on my team here in Phoenix, in Tempe, Arizona. We take 3rd. All weekend, 4th, 3rd. Gone down the course, 2,000 meters 3 times, and a 500-meter sprint. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was still hurting. I still showing up. And on my drive home, it hit me. I just spent a week doing 2 things I love the most. Speaking and competing. 2 completely different worlds, but they demand the exact same thing. Not talent, not motivation, not feeling good. Commitment. See, this is where motivation gets us in trouble all the time, especially as restaurant pros. We hope that motivation can keep us doing the things we want to do, but motivation is unreliable. When your motivation fades, do your actions fade? See, feelings don't matter. They don't matter. How you feel does not matter, because that's the biggest difference between amateurs and professionals. Think about it this way. Let's think of professional sports. We've got amateur athletes and professionals. Now, a typical amateur, again, amateur just means not getting paid, can have a bad day and say, I don't want to get out on the court. I don't want to get out on the field. I don't want to I'm not feeling well. I'm going to sit here on the bench. But professional athletes, on a basketball court, they roll their ankle. What do? The severe ankle roll. They go get taped and they get back out there. Football players, they put in concussion protocol because football players will get out there until they spin their brain around in their head because they're there to compete. They are being paid to be a professional, to get it done. Think of it this way. If you were going to go in for surgery tomorrow, do you want your surgeon to go, I just don't feel like it. I'm going to give half my effort. No, it doesn't matter how your surgeon feels that day. They're going to be a professional. They're going to show up and they're going to give you their best and they're going to do their damn job. See, most people think success comes from feeling ready, from being on or having energy. But that's amateur thinking. Restaurant pro, you don't decide how you feel every day. You can choose your attitude, but you may feel sick. You may feel bad. You may feel tired. You may feel unmotivated, but you do decide how you show up. Your team is your boat. If you don't show up, they don't perform. If you're inconsistent, they're inconsistent. If you try, they try. And that's the problem. Let me give you something my father used to say, and I use in my seminars all the time now. He'd grab a pen, put it in front of somebody and say, now pick that up. Then he'd say, no, try and pick it up. See, most people will go to reach for it and grab it, but he said, try. He says, no, don't pick it up. Try to pick it up. And they'd start yelling at them, try harder. You're not trying hard enough, as their hand is close to the pen, but the pen is not going up. And they eventually just freeze. Because trying isn't doing. Trying is hesitation. Trying is an excuse in disguise. You either do it or you don't. That's it. Here, let me tell you this. And this is where trying is very different than committing. So I had a friend come over to my house, and my daughter at this time is 13 years old. And she and I play together all the time, and she kind of knows my riffs and what have you. And I have a friend over, and I'm like, hey, Brooke, what does trying get you? Now I'm expecting Brooke to tell me nothing, because the answer up until that point was trying gets you nothing. But my 13-year-old looks at me and says, trying leads to excuses. Poof, my brain explodes. See, when you say I tried, you're giving yourself permission to have an excuse. I tried to get that done, but. So for instance, hey chef, did you do the recipe costing cards? They could say I tried and I accomplished nothing. Or give you an excuse and accomplish nothing. Or better yet, I fill it in, take any excuse and replace it with the word locusts. Hey, I would have had those recipe cards done, but locusts came and grabbed my laptop, threw it in the air, slammed it down on the ground. Recipe card's gone. Don't you do the same thing? I tried to implement a budget, but then ... locusts. It does not matter what the hell the excuse is. You're just giving yourself or your team member the ability for you to take the foot off the back of your neck or their neck. and say, oh, it's okay. At least you tried. Trying leads to nothing getting done. It leads to excuses. What we need instead of trying is we need committing. So are you going to try to control your labor costs? Are you committed to implementing the right systems, training your managers, holding them accountable, and actually lowering your labor costs or controlling it? Are you trying to implement systems? Are you committed to putting systems in place that give you restaurant prosperity, which is freedom from your restaurant and the financial freedom you deserve? Are you going to try to become the leader your restaurant needs? Or are you committed to doing what's necessary, whether it's going to seminars, whether it's going to workshops, whether it's reading online, whether it's working with a coach? Does not matter what it is. Are you willing to read the books necessary for you to become the leader your restaurant needs? Are you going to try and train your team? Are you committed to creating your training systems, grabbing a cell phone, recording what the training looks like, getting it transcribed, putting it at ChatGPT, creating your SOPs, having a manual created with it because we have tools to make this shit easier for us now, and actually do it? Or are you going to try? See, what does trying look like in your restaurant? Right now, what does trying look like for you? How many half-started projects, systems, things that you pretend to commit to, but instead you're going to try to get it done? And what is it costing you? Tens of thousands of dollars a year. Hours upon hours being a prisoner in your business. Family and friends who feel jaded and, well, thinking you abandoned them for what you think is the big reason. I'm doing this for them. I'm showing up every day in my restaurant, yet committing to nothing. Showing up every day is not committing and actually make change happen in your business. So what's it costing you? So here's the shift. You don't become a professional someday. You decide you are one, and then you act according. Think about it. You don't go, well, next week I'll be a professional. No, you decide right now and you act like it. You act accordingly. You still train, you still learn, you still go to seminars. Being a professional doesn't mean you know everything. Being a professional means you don't kick it out of the park every time you're up to play kickball. The fact of the matter is what? You keep training, you keep learning, you keep doing all the things necessary because that's what pros do. Think about it. You do all those things not to become a professional. It's because that's what professionals do. Again, not because you're trying to become one. Now, I can tell you there are two types of people, though. There are people who, well, let how they feel dictate their actions. I'm tired. I don't want to show up today. I just want to sit in the office and ignore the restaurant and the customers and the problems, and I don't feel good. See, there's also people who decide their actions no matter how they feel, because it's a choice. You can feel bad and sit in the office, or you can feel bad and go out and touch tables, and you can train employees, and you can lead your team. Either way, you're going to feel bad. Some days you wake up and you feel like garbage. Guess what? So do professionals. The difference? They go to work anyway. They perform anyway. They lead anyway. So think about it. Where are you not showing up in your business? Are you walking in and feeling a little, well, frustrated? Maybe you've got back bills, your sales are down, your food costs up, your labor costs up, you've just lost another manager. You have to come into the restaurant every day because there's nobody else to do any of the work but you. And then do you run a bad shift because woe is me, you feel bad, so your guests get a bad experience, your employees get their heads bit off? Do you ignore your numbers even more because things are falling apart? So instead of dealing with it, you ignore it. Do you avoid having those tough conversations with the employees who are tearing your business down, one unhappy guest at a time, who tell thousands on Yelp because you couldn't deal with one more thing? See, you've got to decide who you are. Are you a restaurant pro, or are you somebody trying to make change? Who are you? Who do you want to be? Because again, if you decide you're a restaurant professional, that happens right now. You make the decision and you are. You commit to showing up every day because that's the standard. Not perfection, not hype, and not motivation. Consistency under pressure. That's what makes a pro. Execution when you don't feel like it. That's what makes a pro. Showing up when it'd be easier not to. That's what makes a pro. So the next time you're tired, the next time sales are down, the next time your team is driving you crazy, ask yourself, am I trying or am I being a professional? Because your team already knows the answer. and they're following your lead. So think about it. What changes tomorrow for you? I'm not going to try and give you some soft landing and go, it's okay. You've gone this far and you're going to make a change and let's go rah, rah, rah. Bullshit. Commit to being the leader your restaurant needs. Commit to being a restaurant pro, a professional, someone who gets paid to show up every day and give their very best no matter how you feel, no matter if you're motivated, no matter what's going on. Your team is counting on you. Your team, your boat are your employees. Your team, your boat are your managers. Your team, your boat are your guests. Your team, your boat is your family, your friends, your investors, your partners. There are so many people counting on you to show up and be a pro every single day. So what changes tomorrow for you? It's literally waking up and deciding today's the day. Today's the day I'm going to be a pro. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but you are the only person responsible for your actions or inactions. You can't blame the government. You can't blame the employees. You can't blame your customers. You can't blame your vendors. You can't blame any conditions outside of what you can control other than what you can control. And that's you deciding and committing and showing up every day, no matter how you feel, to being the professional your restaurant needs, your team needs. Again, this isn't about being perfect. I am certainly not perfect. No one is. It's about being the kind of restaurant pro your team can count on no matter what. Ready to take the next step towards achieving restaurant prosperity, freedom from the daily grind, and the financial success you deserve? Book a discovery call with Ryan James to learn about our group coaching program. Ryan will guide you through how our program can transform your restaurant and help you achieve the prosperity and freedom you've been striving for. Click the link in the description below or visit dsp.coach/talk-to-Ryan to schedule your call now.